Welcome to Own Your Yes. I'm Dr. Phyllis, your coach. Today is episode 82, and I want to talk with you from the topic from why to what now, getting unstuck and stepping into your next chapter. If you've ever spent time with a toddler or raised one, you know that phase when they discover the word why. One answer leads to another question, but why? Then you answer that question and it's followed up with the, but why? You explain and they ask again. It's cute at first, but after a while, it can become exhausting, especially when you're trying to move on and they just keep asking why. I remember those moments as a parent, as a aunt, and now a great aunt, feeling like I was stuck in this conversation loop that I couldn't escape. Do you remember those times, or maybe you're in the middle of that phase right now? And as I think back on it, I realize, you know what? We're not so different as adults. We do the same thing, don't we? When life surprises or even wounds us, we ask, why did this happen? Why now? Why me? Have you ever been in a season where you just couldn't stop asking why? Where the more you tried to understand, the more stuck you felt. Have you ever felt that way? That was me not that long ago. And especially, it was in a very difficult chapter of my life. I kept asking why. Why me? Why now? Especially when I thought I was going up and beyond, trying to do the right thing. I just found myself asking why. And just thinking if I could just understand why this was happening and why now. And why did they do that? Why did they say that? Why did I make this decision? Why didn't I make that decision? I just couldn't seem for a while to move away from asking why. And clarity never came in the way that I hoped it would. And then, the light bulb finally went off as I realized that I really was asking the wrong question. I needed a new question. The pursuit of why, sis, can provide insight. And we know that for you, I'm sure, as myself, we've spent years searching through our jobs for answers and figuring out problems by asking why. Yet there's a time and place in life where why, as I mentioned before, is just not the right question, because the more we cling, the more we hold on to it, this pursuit of why can become a trap. Clarity is valuable, don't get me wrong, but it's not always necessary to be able to take the next step into a new chapter, a new decision, a new phase of life. The truth is, you don't have to know why to move forward. You just have to trust that forward is still possible. And what I often say and what I've come to embrace is that we have to trust the processes. We have to trust God's process and move. We have to change the question from why to what now and leave the rest in God's hand. And I want to share with you a framework, a thought process that I use because even when we make this major step forward and the light bulb goes off, we have that epiphany, we have that moment of enlightenment, it's very easy to slide back into that search for why. But this is a framework, a thought process that I encourage you to use, and it's the acronym of moving from why to what. It's a mindset shift for growth and forward motion. So I encourage you to take notes. If you don't have something to write with, come back later and listen and take notes. So we want to move our thinking from why to what. The W stands for witness it, witness it. Acknowledge your feelings and your pain without judgment. You don't need to explain your emotions to validate them. How you felt with what's happened, they're your feelings. Witness it. Again, acknowledge them, let them out, and that by doing that, you validate them. Naming the moment, naming your emotion is powerful. And it's a powerful act or step of self awareness. H, hold space, not hostage. I love this one. Hold space, not hostage. It's okay to sit with the pain. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be confused at first, but don't let that season of questioning hold you hostage or hold your future hostage. Give it space, but don't get stuck. Ask a better question. Begin to reframe the question. This is the A. Ask a better question. A. Ask a better question. And as stated, begin to reframe the question. What is what's happened revealing about me? And as you've heard me talk about, we have to stop beating ourselves up. You have to stop beating yourself up. You're human. Reframe the question. What is it revealing about me? What's important to me? What do I need in this moment to move forward? What can I take that's a positive learning? Either you figured out what you want, or sometimes an experience will teach you what you don't want. It resets your reference point of what you want or you don't want. And by reframing the question, you're forward facing instead of stuck in what happened to you. You're not anchored to the past. You're propelling and looking forward to the future. That's A. Ask a better question. And T is take the next right step. Take the next right step, sis. You don't need to have the full roadmap. And I know that's difficult for us because we are the ones that have prided ourselves. We've, we are the ones who know how to fix everything. We're the go to person. Yet, if you really, sis, want to move forward, you have to, this is where faith comes in. You have to take the next step without trying to second guess or get stuck with what God is doing. Is take the next step that the Holy Spirit is guiding you to take. Take just the next intentional, grace-filled step. And I'm a witness. Healing lives in motion. Healing doesn't come when you stay stuck and allow, I'm just going to say it, let those negative feelings, the hurt, the pain, the questions just continue to cycle over and over and over again. You have to get moving, yet with intention, because we know us as resilient, very high achieving women, it's easy for us to get busy. But we're not going to be getting busy, sis, by filling our plate with empty calories, right? We're not going to just be adding more things to do on our plate just to do. No, I want you. This is a season of intention. I want you to own your yes. I want you to own what you were saying yes to. So T is to take the next right step. So let's review that. The what? W stands for witness it, acknowledge your feelings and pain without judgment. H, hold space, not hostage. It's okay to sit with the point, but don't let it just take your whole being hostage. A is ask a better question. Begin to reframe your questions so that they are future forwarding or future, your vision is on the future versus those thoughts, those feelings, those emotions holding you back into what's happened in the past. And T is to take the next right step. Just one step. Don't overthink it as we do. Just take the first next step. And that healing lives in motion. I love it. Healing lives in motion. So this week, I invite you to trade your whys for what nows. Think of just one area in your life that you feel like you've just been circling and cycling and rehashing that just is keeping you stuck because of the question why. I'm a great believer in journaling because I think the more that we can get it out, even if it's dictating into your phone's note section, writing it down is awesome. If you have a little journal or a little notepad, as thoughts come to you during the day, it's a way of releasing them and getting them from inside onto something that even you can look back at later and see where you've grown from. But this week, I want you to think about one area of your life that you can trade in the why question for what now. And that will help you move forward. Now, let me give you a couple examples. Instead of why do I feel so disconnected lately, try what boundaries do I need to create this week to reconnect with God and myself? Instead of why did I stay in that job so long? Or why did I stay in that relationship so long? Try what values do I want to prioritize in this next season based on that? Based on that. and says, I'm sending this deep thought and love towards you. I want you to hear me. You're not behind. It's not too late. You're not broken. You're just ready to move forward from overthinking to aligned action. One of the greatest goals that I have set is that I want to live authentically, because there was a time that I felt that who I was in public, or what people thought of me, or I was trying to play this role, was different from the struggles I had inside, and it made me feel that I was being unauthentic. And alignment was so important, to just be me. And that's where I know the Holy Spirit is stirring in you that you need and you want that alignment. And the beginning of that step into that new chapter is now. This is the right time to go from asking why to what now. I hope that this episode has been helpful to you. And I want you this week to own it. Own your process, own your growth, because God's got your back. I want you to move from why to what now. I love you, and I'll see you next week. Bye now.